Every reason for the Nifty to cheer, because I think the BJP is safely home in Karnataka, and that's exactly what the markets would have wanted. They would have wanted a decisive mandate. They wouldn't have wanted a fractured mandate that would have led to some amount of horse trading, some amount of delay, some amount of doubts. I think it's a very clear, decisive mandate. From the market's point of view, this emboldens the central government's narrative. This gives it more elbow room to do economic reforms. This gives them more courage and confidence to go ahead with some bitter pills, because despite whatever they have done, they seem to be winning one state after the other. And just to put it in perspective, the BJP has government in 21 states of India. This is going to be the 22nd state that they will form a government in. From a market point of view, this is also important news, because so far, while the BJP has captured the imagination of the north of this country and now even the northeast, they do not have a foothold in the south. It was important for them to win Karnataka because that's the only state that they had previously tasted success in. So they would have wanted to win Karnataka to continue to taste success there, and that is why the victory was very important. I mean, the entire south of India sends about 130 MPs to Lok Sabha. When they go into 2019 general elections, chances are they are going to lose seats in the north, because that is where they've peaked. They've maxed out in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, UP. Those seats they've maxed out, and so they will have to break newer bastions, states and constituencies where they haven't won ever traditionally, and which is where South comes in very handy. I think also from a market point of view, markets must be heaving a sigh of relief, because there are other 3 state assembly elections that are lined up: Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan. This narrative builds into the invincibility of Modi and Shah. From the Congress party's view, this isn't great news at all. This not just weakens Rahul Gandhi's claim to be the fulcrum around whom the opposition can rally around. This also is not great news, because the Congress is now reduced to a Punjab, Mizoram and a Puducherry, 2.5 states to be precise. What happens from here on is anybody's guess. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh are 3 states where the BJP is an incumbent, and they've been in the government for 10 long years. The Congress is a challenger there, so things will be different. But yes, this is a wide battle as far as elections are concerned. I think Karnataka is hands down with the BJP, and Mr. Yediyurappa is all set to be sworn the Chief Minister. I think I've got Sagarika Ghosh joining us right here, and if I can... Okay, can I please go across to Sagarika Ghosh? There are 3 people who are joining me right here, I'm told. I've got Shaina NC from the BJP, I've got Mr. Salman Soz from the Congress, and Sagarika Ghosh. So thanks all 3 of you for being with us. And Mr. Soz, I would have ideally started with the victor, but I'm going to start with you, because this is a humiliating defeat, if I may. It isn't a slim margin, but the BJP has won decisively. It's a comprehensive victory for the BJP. Whose loss is this for the Congress party, and which assessment went wrong? Because something went JDS also, you don't have the numbers. What went wrong, and whose failure is this? Is this going to be termed Siddaramaia's failure or Rahul Gandhi's? Do I have Salman Soz? Salman Soz, is he there with us from the Congress party? No, I don't have him. I'll go across to Shaina NC. And Shaina, thank you very much for being with us. Congratulations come your way. This is a decisive victory for your party and for the Prime Minister. Whose victory is this? Is this the victory of the Prime Minister, his magic intact? Is this a victory for Yediyurappa, who doesn't seem to have lost his hold and charm in Karnataka? Is this the gamble that paid off, getting, Mr. Yeddi, the Reddy brothers? Eyebrows were raised, but I perhaps believe all's fair in politics. And whose victory will you consider this to be?
Well, Supriya, thank you. And I think that this victory is clearly that of the most honest, hardworking Prime Minister the country has ever seen. His, as they say in Hindi, there's no quote in his niti and niyat. But more importantly, if we didn't have the organizational base that our party president, Mr. Amit Shah, has set up, and the cadre that actually mobilizes the voter to the polling booth for victory, I don't think we would have seen this kind of an unprecedented victory. It is always the cadre, the organization and the leadership that ensure victory in any election. But I think what is really welcoming is that the people of Karnataka have not chosen to vote like mere vote banks. They have thought it out as to which government will give them stable, good governance based on progress and based on a vision plan which the Prime Minister has espoused through the length and breadth of this country. And for all those critics, I would only want to say, who kept saying that the BJP is a North Indian party, well, here you have it. We've made our entry into the Northeast, into places like Assam, into places like Jammu and Kashmir, and here in Karnataka too. So I think that in the days to come, clearly Congress Mukt Bharat is not even a question in doubt. But more importantly, as a democracy, yes, we would have wanted a strong opposition, but even that seems to be something that the people of the country have rejected the Congress party for.
Aslam, who's representing the JDS here. And Mr. Aslam, many people will say that this could have been a very different day had the Congress and you decided to contest together. You're neither king nor are you a kingmaker. What you've given to the BJP is a victory on the platter because you divided each other's votes. You played spoiler. How are you going to respond to that criticism, Mr. Aslam?
No, I certainly wouldn't agree with that. But first of all, we all accept the mandate given by the people of Karnataka. We know that, we would get around 45, 46 seats. That's the information which we have from our resources. But let me tell you, it's definitely a better performance than 2013. We had 40 seats, and of which we had lost 7 seats. 7 MLAs had moved to Congress and 3 MLAs had moved to BJP. But our actual count was 30. But we're definitely giving a better performance in 2018. We would get close to about 45, 46 seats. That's what we know. I know it's not according to our expectation, but we are not disheartened. We will still work with the people of Karnataka. We will introspect where we have gone wrong, what are our failures. We'll sit together with all the leaders. We'll sit together with all the party workers, and we'll understand where we have gone wrong, and certainly we'll bounce back. We are with the people of Karnataka. We'll be certainly working for the people of Karnataka. Now, coming back to what happened with Congress, I think today Congress certainly has a major setback. This is primarily because of the misgovernance of Mr. Siddaramayaji's government and the arrogance of Mr. Siddaramayaji, and the divisive caste politics have certainly given them, I think the people of Karnataka have given an answer. Now, I think I would also want to congratulate BJP, but what we expect from the BJP is they certainly need to deliver the manifesto. They certainly, we believe in an inclusive state, we believe in a secular state. I hope the BJP will be successful in giving a inclusive and secular governance.
Okay, I think the line has failed with Salman Soz, and we'll go across to him as and when we can get him. And can we dial him on a phone line, please? I think we can try and Salman Soz and get him on the phone line. But Sagarika, coming to you, Mamata Banerjee, right after the verdict in Karnataka, said, congratulations to the winners in Karnataka. She did not name the BJP, but she went on to say, had the JDS and the Congress fought this together, the results would have varied a lot. What does this tell you? Is the opposition that was supposed to be this anti-Modi bloc miffed with the Congress? Are they trying to send out a message to Rahul Gandhi? Are they unaccepting of his leadership? What does this really mean? What is the statement supposed to mean? Because she's echoing the sentiment of many other constituents of the anti-Modi bloc.
Very right, Supriya. The fact is the Congress has been thrashed. It's a humiliating defeat. It's a remarkable win for the BJP. I think we're looking in Mr. Modi at the rise of a pan-Indian campaigner. He is punching way above his party. It was he who really swung this for the BJP. I was there. There was a clear pre-Modi, post-Modi factor to this election in Karnataka. Before Mr. Modi arrived, it was lackluster. There was no leadership. It was confused. There was no narrative. And the minute Mr. Modi arrived, those 21 blitzkrieg rallies, and the BJP was galvanized, and the BJP swung into winning mode. So I think he swung it for the party. Mr. Modi has swung this for the BJP, and I think we're seeing the rise of a presidential pan-Indian kind of campaigner in Mr. Modi. And as China NCA said, the BJP for the first time breaching the Vindhyas, seeking, getting a foothold in beyond the Vindhyas on its own. You know, in 2008 it had Yedurappa's sympathy wave, but this time on its own, Mr. Modi has got this victory. So it's a remarkable achievement for the BJP, thrashing for the Congress. I think what is going to happen now, Supriya, going forward into 2019, is the leadership of the Congress of the anti-Modi front is going to be questioned. Mamata Banerjee, we know, has been openly batting for the JDS. She said even on polling day that the Congress should have allied with the JDS. KCR backing JDS. So I think we're going to see every state satrap now say we don't accept the leadership of Rahul Gandhi or Congress. We're going to fight Modi on our own. Why should we have the leadership of the Congress when it's a losing proposition? So I think the leadership of the Congress in 2019 of the anti-Modi secular front, if I can call it that, is in serious doubt now. I think it's the federal players, the federal partners, the regional satraps who are looking for a kind of united front 1988, 1999 moment where a united front forms the government and challenges Modi without the Congress.
Okay. That's a fair point indeed, and it's only fair that I take it across to the Congress spokesperson right here in Salman Source. I think what the markets are cheering is a BJP victory. What they will be wary about is what really happens in contrast to this in 2019. Taking Sagarika's point forward, has the Congress today lost the moral authority to be the fulcrum around whom an anti-Modi bloc can be formed? You look at statements coming in from Mamata Banerjee who are openly saying that the Congress was wrong to contest this election on its own. It should have tied up with the JDS and results would have been very different. With the key constituents challenging the Congress party's decision, are you losing moral authority to at all be a fulcrum? And forget about the moral authority. Will you be accepting to the opposition is really the big question.
Look, I think we need to analyze these results a little more carefully. Because right now, if you look at the Election Commission's website, the Congress party has actually got almost 38% of the vote share. And the BJP has about 37.1 or 37.2% of the vote share. So we've inched ahead of the BJP. I think what we should be looking at is what happened to the JDS vote share in its own stronghold and in Hyderabad, Karnataka. What you may find is that there may have been a tactical understanding by which the BJP put up weak candidates for the JDS and JDS did the same for the BJP. Maybe Mr. Devegowda's calculation may have been that they might emerge as kingmakers. And unfortunately for them, and of course for us, they neither emerged as kings or kingmakers. Now, as far as the general election is concerned, look, in many states, Congress is still fighting the BJP head-on as the only party in other states, be it Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat. There are so many of these states where we're the only other party opposing the BJP. So I do think that when the dust settles on this election, I think there's still an opportunity for the Congress party to be the kind of core for an opposition movement. I think the BJP is beatable. If this was a total rout, then Congress's vote share would have come to 30% or 25%. That has not happened in this case. In fact, when you're comparing apples to apples, then what we should be thinking about is that in 2013, the BJP was split. Basically, their votes were split into 3 different parts. And this time, all of those votes came together. On the other hand, I think there was some tactical understanding with the JDS that may have contributed to this kind of great disproportionate kind of seat share for the BJP given its vote share. So, I understand the first past the post system very well.
Salma,
but let us not kid ourselves. Where you have more votes on the other side, and you have almost half the seats. I mean, that, it does seem a little weird.
Okay.
Let me read.
Yes, it does seem a little weird, but Shaina NC, I will ask you this question. It's all very good to... No, 1 second. No, just give me a second. Shaina NC, the question really is that while it's all very good to win this election, you went into Karnataka as a challenger. Karnataka has always tossed between 2 governments. This would have been a miracle after 40 years if Congress were to come back to power. Obviously, that didn't happen. But you went into this as a challenger. If I may just take the discussion forward on cues for the 3 state assembly elections that are up next, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, you are an incumbent there. There is huge anti-incumbency. You've been in power for 10 years. Isn't that going to be a tougher election to win?
Okay, so Supriya ji, to your first question, let me please say that yes, Karnataka has always had a different party in the assembly, as in the centre too. But here, I don't think that's going to be even a distant possibility, because the BJP has come to power, and it's pretty much a foregone that in 22 states across India, the length and breadth, the kind of mandate we have got, Prime Minister Modi will be the Prime Minister in 2019. So that is one part of the argument. Now coming to the next about Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, I would only want to say, what did we see in Gujarat? After 22 years, despite that, forget numbers for a second, because eventually Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar, who comes to power, is the person who forms the government. And in Gujarat, we have the most historic victory. So what makes you think in a state like Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh, where we've had phenomenal chief ministers who have really worked on the ground, that there is going to be an anti-incumbency? And more importantly, I think the country is fed up of this dynastic politics that the Congress throws down your neck and expects the electorate to just digest and say welcome it. I mean, please do understand, in a democracy as important as it is to have a strong opposition, it is also important to have a strong leader in the opposition. With due apologies, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has totally failed and flopped. And more importantly, when the Congress constantly tries to come to his defense to project him, even the stupid commentary in Karnataka where he said that, you know, he's ready to become the Prime Minister in 2019, who's giving him that opportunity? Read the writing on the wall. The vote of today, especially the new age
I think
voter,
you made your,
the first time voter, they are impatient. They want to see delivery and they want to see deliverables on progress and progressive government.
All right. All right, Shaina, I see you've made a very spirited attack against Rahul Gandhi. It's only fair I go to Salman Soz on this and then take a quick question to Sagarika. Salman Soz, while I wanted to respond to that, I think the follow-up question also has to be, is it a foregone conclusion also that 2019 will perhaps not be a direct contest between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi? It will perhaps be a contest between Narendra Modi and Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal, between Narendra Modi and Akhilesh and Mayawati in UP, between Narendra Modi and Naveen Patnaik in Orissa. Is that the kind of contest we are perhaps going to see?
You know, in the past, when the Congress party was dominant, we were also fighting disparate kind of opposition forces around the country. And in some cases, that may very well be the case. But I think the opposition parties, the more they unite, the more we kind of, in fact, the lesson of this Karnataka election may be that if you look at the way vote shares have gone, you know, you keep scattering your vote share, and you know, suddenly the BJP, even though it got far fewer votes overall, gets a dominant share of the seats. Now, on China's point about, oh, this is a distant dream and Prime Minister Modi is destined to become the next Prime Minister of India, let me just say, hold your horses. BJP had 73 out of 80 seats in Lok Sabha, in the last Lok Sabha in UP. They had to then win 26 out of 26 in Gujarat, 25 out of 25 in Rajasthan, 32 out of 40 in Bihar, 27 out of 29 in Madhya Pradesh. Look at Maharashtra with about 42 seats out of 48. Nobody is willing to give those kinds of seats to the Prime Minister. They may make some gains in some northeastern states, but they're never going to be, overwhelming. So I think the opposition has a real chance. And by the way, when I look at this data, and by the way, we have to respect the mandate. The people of Karnataka gave the Congress party 5 years to serve them, and we are grateful for that opportunity, and we did the best we could. But mind you, in spite of all that, in spite of what people say was anti-incumbency, we're still the #1 party in vote share, despite everything. So I think please look at the vote share of JDS in their strongholds and look at JDS vote share in the Hyderabad, Karnataka region. You might get an answer.
Okay, just quickly, I'll go across to Sagarika because I think the people watching this show are the market participants and they would want to know what this verdict will mean from an economic point of view. What does this mean or from the reform trajectory? Sagarika, you know, many people thought that the BJP is going to be distracted with the elections. You know, it's such a ruthless political machinery, will be completely obsessed with winning Karnataka and then Rajasthan and then Madhya Pradesh and all of that. What does this victory mean for economic decision making, for reforms? Do you believe that continues? Do you believe they're going to be further emboldened? I mean, I'm just asking from a pure constituent of the stock markets watching this channel right now and this political debate?
Well, Supriya, I think the cautionary note I want to sound here is that, first of all, the margins of victory are very narrow. They're very small. In 2013, there were 40 seats that were won by 5,000 votes. This time as well, I think we're going to see very, very small margins. So I don't think there is need for over-optimism on either side or for overconfidence on any political party side. I think what we're going to see from Mr. Modi's government going forward is going to be a renewed emphasis on populist pro-poor schemes. Remember, he's going to come with his healthcare scheme in October. I think we're going to see a more significant reach out to farming communities. I think we're going to see a reach out to pro-poor constituencies. I think we're going to see a reach out to on the farm sector, much more populist. I don't think Mr. Modi is going to interpret this as a victory for reforms in that sense, because at the end of the day, you know, as we always say, good economics is bad politics. So therefore, I think there is reason for concern, because you see a number of a significant percentage of the SC/ST seats may have stayed with the JDS. The JDS has performed very well in the south, where there was farming distress, there have been farmer suicides, there have been drought along the Cauvery Delta. So those issues are something the BJP is going to learn from. Remember, this is a party that is very much on the uptake in terms of learning from election victories. And I think what it's going to learn from this election victories is that it's got 112 and 113, it hasn't got 120, it hasn't got 130. Remember, Amit Shah's mission was 150. So it hasn't got that. It's got 112 and the margins are narrow. So I don't think there's going to be a reforms push. I think you're going to see a more populist push. I think you're going to see a more farm sector push. I think you're going to see a pro-Dalit push. And of course, there is going to be the big unveiling of the healthcare schemes that are going to, the Modi Care scheme that is going to come in October. But just on the point that Salman Soz was making on vote share, I just want to say that, you know, even in 2008, when the BJP won, the Congress was actually 2 percentage points higher than the BJP in terms of vote share. The Congress got 37%, the BJP got 35%, but still the BJP won. That's because the BJP's seats are concentrated. And, you know, as in our first past the post system, if your seats are concentrated, if your votes are concentrated, you get the seat faster than if your vote share is all over the state. So your vote to seat conversion of the BJP is much higher than the Congress. So even if the Congress BJP gets a lower vote share, its vote to seat conversion is much higher. So therefore, even though there may be a higher vote share, the seats are higher. Also, I would like to say that this particular election, the BJP seems to have replicated the 2014 general election model in Karnataka, where it got 42% of the seat and swept 132 constituencies. But we must remember, cautionary note, it's won 112, it hasn't won 120, nor has it won 130. So I don't think you're going to see a reforms push.
Okay. Fair point indeed, but I'll take a quick word to Shaina NC before I close the show. And Shaina, it is quite clear that from here on, it is going to be about populist measures. The BJP that has opposed a farm loan waiver in the centre promised one in its manifesto in Karnataka. There is obviously going to be a Dalit push. There's going to be a farm push. Is it fair to say that from now to 2019, there will be more left of the centre economic ideology that will take centre stage in New Delhi?
Well, I'd only like to say this, that there were 3 core issues that the people of Karnataka were dealing with. Number one is obviously the agrarian crisis, and we know how strong Prime Minister Modi is with his envisaging the vision plan of using technology to benefit farmers, whether it's soil cards, whether it's better fertilizers, selling from the farmer directly to the, without going through the hassle of middlemen, pension schemes, insurance schemes, etc. Yes, that will be a huge package. But more importantly, there was also a huge law and order situation. And do not forget, even in a city like Bengaluru that has accepted us so welcomingly, there are lots of civic issues, whether it was, matters of effluence or the city being drowned, lots of issues when it came to law and order, where young girls were raped in schools and the Chief Minister chose not to speak on those issues. So I think there are multiple issues, and corruption being number one, because every cabinet minister had some case of substantiated proof of corruption against him. So whether it's agrarian crisis, corruption, law and order, or women's safety, these will all be priorities for our government. And of course, if the Prime Minister has his way, as does our party president, we will walk the talk and not just give false promises.
All right. I don't think talking about corruption can be such a big sale point for both you and the Congress. While you attacked the Congress for corruption, you went ahead and embraced the Reddy brothers and Yeddi. And please don't come back to me saying there are corruption charges against the Congress as well, because you embraced them.
Can I have a final comment on this, please?
But I don't think corruption seems to be an electoral. I'm sorry, sir, but I've completely run out of time here. We'll have to switch into the next show, but we'll speak to you later today. Thanks very much for being with us, this lovely panel. We take a quick breather. We come back with markets that seem to be rejoicing a big BJP win in Karnataka.